So the last set of notes here relates consumer surplus, CS, producer surplus, PS, and total surplus. So we know from the previous notes that consumer surplus is the value to buyers minus the amount paid by buyers. We also know that producer surplus is the amount received by sellers minus the cost to sellers. We're going to define total surplus. Which is simply going to be the sum of the consumer surplus and the producer surplus. You can think about the total surplus as the total gains from trade in a market. And it equals the value to buyers minus the cost to sellers. So in a market economy, resource allocation is decentralized. Because it's determined by the interactions of many buyers and sellers. So then the question that we have to answer is the market allocation desirable? In other words, is there a better allocation of resources that would make society as a whole better off, that would increase total surplus than what the market is doing on its own? And we use total surplus as a measure of society's well-being. And then we consider whether the market allocation is efficient. We get the most out of our resources. So, I want to talk a little bit about this. Last question, is the market efficient? Or is the market allocation efficient? And efficiency is the important thing. So, we know that total surplus is consumer surplus plus producer surplus. An allocation is efficient if it maximizes total surplus. And this efficiency implies that the goods are consumed by the buyers who value the goods and services the most. It also means that the goods are produced by producers with the lowest cost. Just realized I spelled maximizes incorrectly. And finally, it also means that raising or lowering Q, the quantity of goods and services sold, would not increase total surplus. Now, in the next set of notes, and in fact this next set of notes will be the last one for this chapter. In the next set of notes, what we're going to do is argue that the competitive equilibrium, the equilibrium that we've been talking about in class up to this point, is the value that maximizes the total surplus. And we're going to show, hopefully that you'll believe afterward, that any deviation from the equilibrium quantity will reduce total surplus, the total benefit to society. And any movement away from that point will mean the markets are not efficient.